firefighting is the unknown. You know, the worst part for me is fighting fires is going into the darkness. I don't like darkness, and the only reason why I don't like darkness is because most when we fight fires in the dark. The reason why I don't like darkness is because I've fallen through floors. In Detroit, put it this way, in Detroit, what arsonists do in Detroit, they literally cut holes in floors. So they booby trap the floors. So when we go into a house, this may be a vacant house or not even vacant, sometimes occupied, it may be a trap, intent to harm us, to slow us down, or to kill us. So that's the only thing. But when that bell goes off, man, you got a job to do. You gotta put all that aside. You just gotta go in and do your job. Just gotta be a little more careful. But if it's a rescue, you don't have time to think about that. You just gotta go. You think about it, this is the only job that says that that I would put a stranger life above my own. Imagine that. Think about that. If I got wife and kids at home, and my job is to go out and save somebody else's wife and kid, and if I die in the process, saving their wife and kids so he can live for his wife and kids, I may not live for my wife and kids. And that is the job.
We're an interior tech fire department. We go in where the fire starts. Most of the fire departments in Michigan fight the fire from the sidewalk. They stand in the street and put water on a house. You're not gonna put a fire out that way. You gotta go in the house, go into that room or attic and put the fire out. So you turn the oven on to broil for a half hour, stick your head in there, and that's what you're feeling when you're going into a fire. And you can't see. It's like walking into a closet. So you go in that room or that house, it's dark. You got to feel with your hands. Sometimes if there's search and rescue, I would take off my gloves so you can feel better. You feel the ground. You feel human without your gloves. You can't feel that of a child or a body. You take your gloves off, you can feel a lot better.
We're shopping for the doghouse. We're gonna furnish it. Hey, Gooch! Yeah! Looks like there's a bunch of garbage, lighters, there's a mattress, some food. Somebody just squatting in here, it's not their house, Yeah, there's somebody light a garbage fire on the floor in there. Just rubbish, garbage. Doesn't look occupied. There's like a mattress on the floor, not much in the house, so.
What do you think was it?
Pretty big.
Homeless people?
Either arson or, squatters.
All the above.
Maid service. Oh, you need your room clean, sir.
He's trying to throw him in, wasn't he? Yeah.
You need your house clean, sir.
Guinness, maybe? Keep an eye on him in here. Alright, I need another can.
Most of us that work here, the firemen that work here, grew up in this area, so.
Did you grow up in this area? Or?
I grew up in this area, yeah. And a lot of, like myself, would right up to the firehouse. you know, to see my dad. My dad was a fireman too, so I would ride up here and see him as a kid, and you know, it was a lot slower here. You know, they didn't have any fires in the, you know, in the 60s and 70s in this area. You know, this area here was like pristine. It was like you know, no fires at all. That's where today you have 300 runs a month, 300 fires a month out of this firehouse. So. When did it change? It changed in the 80s. A lot of the government subsidy started buying up the houses around here. A lot of the low income and started moving in, and that's when the fires started popping up here and there. Hey! A lot of arson, you know, was in the 80s up until you know, 90s, up until today. There's a lot of, most of our fires, probably 80% of them are arson in this area. You felt some heat, right? Yeah.
But it let me know like there was fire like above me.
Yeah, same.
We just keep everything locked up. We build our own fences so people can't see. We put up barbed wire. It's like we have to make a compound, you know, to be able to protect just the little stuff that we have, you know. They even break in and steal the food sometimes. You know, take food out of our belly. Now, some of us look like we could miss a couple meals, but it's the principle of it. Can't do.
Thanks.
Oh, it's the neighborhood. The people that we are actually protecting come back and steal it from us.
Hey, I'm about to go to the building. Hey, Paul! I got like 3 pair of those things. I got like 3 pair of those.
It's just been an epidemic. Why Detroit has more fires than anybody else, I don't know. We're the busiest department in the world. When I came on the job 28 years ago, I was 28 years old. My captain had 30 years on the fire department. In my first year, we were busy. We're doing 300 runs a month, a couple, 150 fires a month. I told my captain, I said, shit, Cap, I said, at the rate they're burning down fires, when I got 30 years on a job like you do, there's going to be nothing left to burn. His statement back to me was, yeah, kid, that's what I said 30 years ago. Put these holes in the roof for ventilation to release some of the heat and the gases that were building up as our guys were inside fighting the fire. We had ventilation holes here, ventilation holes on the other side. This one burned for a long time. There's a hole right in the floor. You can see over here it's burned up. Eliminates the possibility for flashover and takes some of the heat off the guys that are inside.
What is a flashover?
Flashover is when, as the fire burns, it gets hotter and hotter. The fire is giving off gases, combustible gases. When those gases reach temperatures in excess of 1,000 degrees, they reignite and they flash. And a flashover generally, I've been in a couple of them, the gases will flash, the fire will eat up all the gases, and then once the gases are gone, the fire will retract. It's one of the weirdest shit you ever see. Well, they say it's one of the probably the first or second most dangerous job you can have, firefighting. But like I said, I've been doing it 28 years. I love it.
Family, my aunts, uncles, everybody grew up in close to the city here, in this neighborhood. We all grew up in this neighborhood, lived in the neighborhood, and some of the houses, I fought fires in these houses. My grandparents' house and aunts and uncles, and it's sad. Just anything. Restaurants, there's no restaurants, in the neighborhood area here. Nowhere to shop. It's just there's nothing here. There's no libraries in this immediate area here. This Lower East Side. This firehouse is in the toilet of the city. It's so to speak. There's nothing worse in the city than this area. Just scary. This area is just unbelievable. The arson and the crime and people just killing you for your tennis shoes. And they just don't need a reason. You look at them wrong, they're going to shoot you, and they do. They kill you because you looked at them wrong.
See, this one was burning for a long time. It burned right through the whole thing.
Wow.
And then the house is vacant, and the drug guys, crackheads come in, and they'll use it for a while. And then sometimes the neighbors burn the house down because they don't want the crackheads in it. So there's just all kinds of reasons why we get so many fires. Call us back an hour later because there was still smoke coming out. And there was a trap fire in that wall, and we couldn't get to it from this side. So I tried to put it out. And then when we came back, see how deep the water is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty dangerous to walk around here.
Yeah. That's from us with all the water we used. But yeah, this is just one of thousands in Detroit.
How many vacancies do you have in Detroit?
There were estimates anywhere from 60 to 80,000
Vacant
houses and properties. Yeah, they're trying to tear them down now. They're estimating 3 years that they'll have it somewhat under control. But at 80,000, if they're tearing down, even 100 a month, that's 1,200 a year. Here's 80,000. To me, it's gonna be a long battle.
I don't see this area changing for 50, 60 years, maybe, to even start to change. Saratoga. That's the one, he's the one, yeah. You see the tires both sides of the house? That's a house across the street they've tore down. The houses were full of tires, and they fill them with tires, and they light the houses on fire to get rid of the tires because the tire companies pay these companies to get rid of the tires, and they dump them illegally in Detroit. And this is a sign of them that you can see where they dump them. They fill some of the houses. They fill the houses up, but inside the houses also.
So what do you do when stuff like that?
We show up and we protect the neighbors' belongings, the surroundings, and let it burn down, until we can get in there and move the tires around. And our thing is to protect what's here, and the people that are living here. We want to protect them first. steal all the copper on the walls. Anything that's worth stealing, they steal. But like this house, I went to high school with a friend of mine that grew up here. That's why I'm just reminiscing a little bit, you know. Remember coming over here to play and hang out, and it says vacant. So we tried to do a little bit of pre-fire planning to know where the stairs are, where the basement's at. This town is not going to change, and it's not. You know, you can see the murder. I mean, people are moving out. Just they're not moving out because they want to. They're pushed out to move. You know, safety of their family. Just make sure there's no holes in the floor on a lot of this. It helps us out when we get a fire in the middle of the night at 3 o'clock in the morning. You know, have some sense if you can remember that how this house is laid out. So I mean, there's so many houses it's hard to remember how they're laid out. But like this, the stairs are in the back of the house. Most houses, the stairs are in the front. So. When they stole the bathtub. Look at the whole block. It's all vacant. The whole block. There's every house on every side here. There's a house there that's missing.
There's still many fires in this neighborhood?
Oh yeah, as you can see there, like that's a burned out remnants there. That's burned out. That was got a fire like that. Look at this fire, and then 2 blocks over would be another house burning. You know, you can just literally walk down the block, light up a house, every fire, and nothing's gonna happen to you. That's what's happened over the years. Nothing's happened to There's so many arsonists, and so much stuff to burn. You know, it's like a playground for an arsonist. This whole city. You know, they get their kicks off of burning stuff down and burning, hurting people. It's not right. Some of these houses have been rotting for 30, 40 years. They've been vacant for that long and rotting. And then they set them on fire, and you can't do nothing but let them burn. They're structurally not sound. They're dangerous to even walk by it. And, go for a swim?
Running water is good.
Yeah. Feel water running?
Pretty clear.
That's not every lot of houses.
Oh, that's...
Smell the gas too. Smell the gas going. Gasoline.
Really?
Natural gas, you smell it? I can smell it.
No. Were you there when those houses burned?
Yeah, I was here. Yep. This one was the original house, and there's so much gasoline in the house. It burned. It's burned so fast. It burned this one next door to it, which burned this third one here. It was 3 in a row. Sometimes you get into a house, a hallway, and you'll feel it on your ears, the heat, and you walk right past that fire. That's how I know. Guys, we gotta come back this way. The fire's behind us because I feel it on my ears. That's it. That's what I can tell with where I'm at. If I could tell if the fire is below us, just from my ears, from that radiant heat coming up from the basement. I can feel it on my ears.
Stuff, all these chairs and couches, we got ourselves donated or bought or whatever. A lot of places you go, the city pays for that. The city of Detroit doesn't pay for any of this. We bought the TV, we bought the chairs, bought the ashtray, the lights, everything you see in here we bought except the brick wall. So we gotta be creative and you spend some of our own money.
It's always the fire department cut first before anything else. They always cut the fire department, so they cut our, a lot of stuff out of the fire department. Equipment wise is, like I said before, it's archaic. Our stuff is just so old. And right now we got 3 bottles there. They're sitting there out of our 8 bottles that are out of service. Many firemen are going out buying boots, their helmets, gloves. You know, it's just a necessity of fighting a fire you can't get. You have to go out and buy it yourself. So. I've been here 26 years, and they froze my pension, so I can't go no. I'm here until I retire.
We've gone there a couple times, so it's kind of a nasty job there. All right, let me see if I got. I know I got. Well, it was a few miles from here. It was actually an occupied house. A lady lived there. It caught on fire. I mean, it's just amazing that you see this building that's been there for maybe 80 or 100 years, and now it's just destroyed by most likely, if it's been a vacant building, it was probably someone that went in there and lit it purposefully, and it's just amazing that, how that fire, how much it destroys and can tear up an area. You're just like another building that's now gone and or another thing that's going to be burned up, but it's just going to sit there as a shell, just as an eyesore now for however long it takes for either the city or the owner, whoever's going to take care of it, to clean it up. There's so much things that you deal with on a daily basis that get you down, that if you don't let it out somewhere, then you're gonna just probably explode eventually. So we try to keep it as lighthearted as we can. You went to Western or something? Central. Or Central?
Antonio Brown went to Central.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Over here, where most of the guys sleep at. Y'all got our little quadrants. This area over here where I'm bumping tonight.
So this is the place where you sleep?
Absolutely, yeah. This is a little area, this is a bed. That's about it, that's all we need. At any moment the alarm will go off. As you see, that's one of them right there, the orange bell in the corner over here. Got the 2 bosses' rooms. They get the nice cozy room with the TV, cable box, lazy boy chair. You see all we get.
Supposed to be out shopping. Happy birthday!
With Apple Pay, using your Wells Fargo card just got easier. Done.
Keep agent service. Leaving the incident on Homer with Hamtramck engine 3. All other companies may go in service.
Engine!
I don't come to work to fight fires. Back in my earlier years, I used to, we're gonna get a good fire today and get excited, and then when we get it, go and do our job. But now, if I don't get one, I'm fine. But if I do get one, that rush is there. I mean, I'm getting excited. Well, honestly, I was a pyromaniac, I guess you would call it, when I was a kid. Set my bathroom on fire, got my butt whooped for it, a couple of garages on my grandmother's street on fire. I chose the fire department because of the rush that I get from looking at fires. I guess that comes back from the kids. I say I'd rather fight a fire than fight somebody with a gun. The priorities, we don't know until we get there, but we're going to try to get there as fast as possible. Because if we get there, and when we get there, and we get there as fast as possible, that's somebody's life that we might be able to save. And minutes count, seconds count, especially with fires, because the longer you wait, and doors is open and it's getting oxygen, it can get out of hand. I think the city has not really been honest and true with its residents and citizens. The politicians, they go for whoever has the biggest bucks, we gonna help you. But those that's trying to make it and the people that honestly are the machine workers of this country, they can care less about.
Elevators. Repeat, do not use elevators.
If the big thing happened, oh yeah, Detroit would not be a safe place as far as fire. And what I mean by the big thing, they closed down so many engine houses or so many companies in different areas. And if something big happened over on this side of town, or something big happened on the opposite side of town at the same time, if we got a little house fire and people trapped, it's gonna be a minute before somebody get there. All it takes is that right opportunity, and you know, and I know, opportunity does not, and it will happen.
Do not use elevators. Repeat, do not use elevators.
You just close the door, keep it closed. We're gonna go smoke out of this hallway.
Attention.
It's still going, mother. It's coming down. Oh, it's coming out of the restaurant. Yeah, it's coming out of the right there.
Earlier, did you throw something in the trash can?
No, I don't even smoke.
Jay.
Whatever it was,
Yeah, I'll
just
get it.
got it in there and gone to the
Now.
trash. Got a little hot.
Trying to reset the alarm.
It's all
I'm like,
Security guy said he's gonna. You make this
Police has been requested, not yet enrolled.